Licence to Kill is a hard-hitting, thought-provoking road safety package that's delivered by road safety officers from many different partnerships across Kent and Medway. The show is aimed at drivers and of course passengers, and what we have is a set of speakers and a film which has been filmed particularly for that audience, and they're interspersed with parts of the film. So the film will show a normal day out for a group of young people in a car and how it can all go tragically wrong in just a split second. The speakers then come out and give their heartfelt and personal stories about how it's affected them. The young people then leave the auditorium and it has the impact that we feel that is needed for those young people to remember it for the years to come.
We've been running Licence to Kill now for 10 years, and we've had thousands of students that have passed through the theatres where we've been doing it. If we look at the crash figures, they have reduced in those years.
I don't really care, to be honest.
I don't really say anything because I don't think it's really my place to say, because I'm not like driving myself and I don't really know that much about it.
I'm not too bothered about road safety much.
Yeah, I think because I said previously that I don't think it's my say to say if a driver's driving too fast or not, but in the end I think that's the best idea. Yeah.
I think I'd definitely be more vocal and definitely more cautious about how the driver is driving, and if I'm really not comfortable about how they're doing it, I will say more and make sure they listen to what I say and take it on board.
I'm definitely going to say to someone if they're driving really speedy or something like that, slow down, because it matters.
Yeah, I just think as a driver, it just makes me more cautious of what's going on around me.
Yeah, it just shows the importance one tiny thing can have such a large impact on you or everyone around you.
People came in, they expected it to be over-dramatised and not serious, but when they came out, everyone was incredibly sombre. So I think the mood has definitely shifted.
Yeah, it's a lot quieter out there. There's quite a few people crying, and you could hear the people running away when there's the sad scenes and stuff. So it's quite intense.
I didn't enjoy seeing my students upset, and I still don't. And I didn't enjoy the fact that I saw them this morning feeling happy about coming here and knowing that it was not going to be a good morning for them. But it's really the duty of staff to do that.
My involvement in the Licence to Kill show is I'm a speaker, speaking about my experience of losing my son in a road traffic accident. Well, Licence to Kill, it's coming through to youngsters before or just when they're going to start driving. So it is important that it gets them early on. And youngsters, we all know what they're like on the road. They don't concentrate, they're invincible, so hopefully it punches the message home to them.
I talk as a mother who's lost a 16-year-old daughter in a road traffic crash, and I think it's important to get through to the youngsters who are learning to drive. I don't know of any other scheme that does this in this area.
I find it very hard and emotional talking myself, because the personal experiences that you're recounting bring back the pictures and the memories, and everything is, again, so real. So it's very hard for us to do this, but I think it makes it more hard-hitting for the students when they realise how it has affected us, and they can hear it in our voices and see it in our faces.
I think what's unique about Licence to Kill is not only the fact that it uses real people, talking about real life incidents and the real life true effects that it has on those people, but also that it takes the students to a place that maybe they've not thought about before, talking about the effects on the emergency services, the effects on family, how people deal with having to deal with fatal road traffic crashes. It takes them to those sort of places, and then it leaves it up to them to think about the causes and why all that's happened.
they would normally perhaps think, oh, it's a boring road safety talk. I think that they're actually blown away by what they see.
There is always a big change in the students and the audience between the crowd that go in and the crowd that come out after Licence to Kill. That in itself makes it obvious that it does have an impact.
So the reason that we stand on this stage today is not because we enjoy telling these stories. It's because the things that we've seen happen too often to too many families in this country.
The car can be a killing machine because it killed my Tally. And even now, years on, my heart has a great big hole in it.
When you actually hear the stories from real life people about what happened to them and their families, that's when it really hits home. And I've seen the effect on the children when they walk out and the feedback, and it really is the best way to deliver a message, and hopefully they learn from it.
They've registered that this is real life and this is what happens to them, and hopefully most, if not all of them, will remember it.
I mean, I saw the show a few months before I started learning to drive, so it definitely was in the back of my mind when I went to sort of sit behind the wheel myself. It's never really something that you think too much about. You know, people tell you that you can be killed, you can be hurt when you get behind the wheel of a car, but you never really think about it. And certainly seeing this sort of brings it to the front of your mind. So I'd say it certainly impacted how I sort of began driving.
I met a young driver a couple of years ago, and they'd seen Licence to Kill when they were at school, and they said that every time they put their car key in the ignition, it made them think about Licence to Kill.
I just wanted to get out there, but you just can't. You just have to carry on watching just to see how the effects have on people, and I couldn't leave, even though I was a mess, still am a bit. But
I don't really have any words. It was just like really, really upsetting.
It gave a big impact, I think, to anyone that was watching it.
Yeah, it showed the reality of everything. Like, you think it won't ever be you, but it can show that it can happen to anyone.
I've realised that it could just be a split-second wrong decision that could basically change yours and your families and everyone who knows you, their lives totally.
It's really well put together, it's not cheesy and it's not preachy, and it is real, and that's why it's so powerful.
I believe it works and the message gets across, because in all the years that I've been doing the fatal collision investigation, I don't think I've come across a driver or a victim or a family who says anything along the lines of he should have known better or she should have known better because they attended Licence to Kill. Nobody that I've had to deal with over the last 9 years has had that sort of knowledge and education and background when it comes to driving.
Yeah, I definitely think people our age who are starting to drive now should definitely go and see it, because it's definitely had an effect on me, and I think it has an effect on everyone.
We've still got a long, long way to go, so we hopefully, funds permitting, will be able to carry on this good work.
It's so important that the message gets over. I wish that Will had seen something like this. I know he didn't, and I'm pretty sure he'd still be here today, and I wouldn't have to be coming here and making a speech about losing Will. Because if we can stop 1, 2 lives, then they're parents that haven't got to go through the grief that my wife and I have gone through.